Hello, welcome to I Go Travel with Don Barnett. We're heading down south of Vegas on our way toward Yuma, and we'll take a look at about 3 towns along the way. We'll look at Laughlin, and I've got a couple of stories there, one about myself and one about somebody else. And then we'll go on down to Lake Havasu and take a look at the London Bridge that they built down there. And finally, we'll stop in at Quartzsite, which claims to be the largest flea market in the world. So come along, let's go and take a look at them. Laughlin is a casino hotspot along the Colorado River, south of Vegas. Smaller than Vegas and easier to handle for old-timers like me. We parked in a casino lot and took in the entertainment. I read a sign, free Texas Hold'em poker lessons. I thought, free? That's for me. They won't take my money though, because I'll outfox them and leave it all in the camper. I did that very thing. Then I sat down at the table for those free lessons. The dealer was personable, no pressure at all. I really enjoyed the session. At the end of the session, the dealer invited anyone interested to maybe play a little game or two for money, kind of practice what we'd learned. And $20 would be the maximum to play. Wow, that set off alarm bells in me. I felt immediate panic. I whined, but my money is out in my camper. Wait for me. Don't start the game. I'll just be a second. Give me a minute. I'll be right back with my money. The dealer said calmly, no panic. You can join the rest of us anytime you get back. While you're enjoying feasting your eyes on a winning royal flush like this, I'll tell you what I did. I ran out of that casino and across the dark night parking lot like a bandit robbing a bank. I jumped in my motorhome, opened one of the closet doors, and my money was gone. I'd been robbed. You're staring at poker's dead man's hand, the same hand, and got its name that was held by Wild Bill Hickok when he was shot and killed. They never knew for sure what his 5th card was, but it didn't matter. He was dead. He had bad luck, just like the kind of luck I was having. Then I remembered I'd put my money in my toolbox behind the seat. I opened the box, and there was the money. I grabbed the money and raced back across the parking lot, totally out of breath when I reached the table, ready to drop on my knees and beg like a dog to get into the game. I joined the next game, spent the best $20 I've ever spent. Yes, sir, that casino outfit didn't fool me one bit. I sure put it over them that time, I think. A day or two after my poker playing experience, we took a river tour. Always an enjoyable thing to do and usually full of information. The boat goes upstream as far as the dam, and there's great views from the river. This is the bridge that crosses the Colorado River at Laughlin. There's a good story here. Look at the top floor on the left side of this skyscraper casino. See the balcony there? The story is that Big Money bought up the riverfront land except one piece that was owned by a wealthy older lady. And now she didn't need the money and she would not sell. The casino crowd offered her reasonable money at first, then upped it several times to ridiculous prices. She finally tired of living in the shadows of the tall buildings around her. The casino crowd offered even more, enough to tour the world several times while she was still in good health, and also offered her a private huge suite on the top floor with her private balcony facing east, where she loved to see the sunrise every morning. She agreed, she sold. She took her world tours and died just before getting ready to move into her top floor suite with the giant balcony facing the sunrise. And that's the story of the big suite on the high building in Laughlin. The Colorado River is dammed at Parker, and the backwater is Lake Havasu. The lake is second only to the Grand Canyon as the most popular tourist spot in Arizona. Water and sunshine means one thing: people. It's a favorite place for vacationers, snowbirds, and college kids at spring break. Sun and sand always attracts people, and the boating season is in season almost all year long. It's a popular place for college kids at spring break. They come really to the Havasu area from near and far to relax and have fun. Probably Lake Havasu's greatest claim to fame is the London Bridge. There have been numerous London bridges built over the years. Some have been famous and others not so famous. Some have been notorious. The king, for example, used to hang heads from the bridges of some of the bridges of those executed for crimes or anything that might threaten the royal monarchy. An American bought one of the bridges and then numbered every brick before tearing it down. He then transported it to Lake Havasu from London, England, and rebuilt the same bridge over a 3-year period, brick for brick, right here. There's always lots of fun around water. This guy is literally walking on water. These machines have various names, like a water jet, or hydroboard, or flyboard. More water pressure, and this guy is airbound. These machines can go 20 to 30 meters high and apparently can even go underwater to some extent. Early patents were registered by Frank Zapata, a guy from France, independently, and also at about the same time by Canada's Raymond Lee. In this photo, I wanted to get both the sea-doo and the guy in the photo. I barely caught the sea-dooer, and the guy happened to wave to me at just the right time. Havasu has joined other communities in having a balloon festival. These festivals draw many spectators and also those wanting a thrill ride aloft. They used to use hydrogen, but now they use non-flammable helium. The air is heated and expands, and the balloon rises as long as the flame keeps burning. The first passengers were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster in an experimental French balloon in the early 1700s. Now, passengers have to pay. This is just a quick look at the high-speed boat races that Havasu holds annually. They're a lot of fun and a lot of noise. Somewhere along the highway, you might catch a glimpse at the California water line that drains water to LA and Southern California. When Arizona saw what California was doing, they asked California, "How much water are you taking out of the river?" California replied, "It's none of your business. Besides, it's from our side of the river." Now, Arizona has its own pipeline these days, and nobody seems to know just how much water is being drained out of the Colorado River. Nobody, that is, except Mexico. They know there's hardly a drop left by the time the river reaches its delta in their country. Quartzsite is the last stop before Yuma, and it has long been a stopover for snowbirds. Now, snowbirds are those people who move south each year to escape the cooler temperatures and snows of winter. They are retired people, often, who can afford the time and money to move south for part of the year. They find all ranges of price accommodations, and some go even further south and spend the winter along the warmer coasts of Mexico and Central America. If they drive, they'll probably stop at Quartzsite, particularly in January, February, when the huge flea market is in full swing. Quartzsite is an almost nothing Arizona town that explodes from a few people to several thousand during the peak of the snowbird season early in the new year. It claims to be the world's largest flea market. There is lots of free camping, but no facilities on oodles of BLM lands nearby. Now, BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management, that manages rural federal lands. For a small fee near town, you can get sewer and water services provided. This place is a tent city galore. Parking spaces are hard to come by, so if you do come early. It's block after block of tent shops. They sell everything imaginable, from electronic gadgets to tools. You can, if you name it, it's there. At various times, they schedule theme shows like the big Rock and Gem show and the RV sales show. Well, okay, there we are. Quartzsite is a great stop if you get there at the right time. Just after the New Year is probably the best time. So we're headed toward Yuma, but we're not going to get to Yuma for a while. I've got some other trips planned, probably headed in the other direction. But if you're interested, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when those travelogues come on, and they'll be coming on every week or so. So until then, au revoir, adios, bonjour. We'll see you down the trail.